healthy enough and strong enough to stand the fights. Now the men of Crockett's Western Battalion, they're pretty stationary regarding forts and things like that. And there's not that many people with them, which means that their rations on a whole are going to be a lot better than, say, the men with General Washington's army. They're going to not suffer the same way that they would at like Valley Forge. But all that said, what we have here is a mess kettle. A mess is a group of 5-6 soldiers, something like that. And what happens is you're drawing your rations and pulling them together with you and your 4 or 5 buddies. And this is the cooking instrument you're given. So you got a bunch of 20-something young guys, probably not very experienced in cooking. Give them a bunch of raw ingredients and a pot. What are they going to do? And they're just going to throw it all together and just add some water and boil it and see what happens. And that's basically what we did today. We also made some Johnny cakes. Now, one area where the soldiers of the Western Battalion are going to have a harder time is getting bread and wheat. These guys spend a lot of time out in Kentucky, modern Kentucky. It's pretty far away from the wheat growing area of the Valley of Virginia. So they're going to be taking corn, grinding it into a meal, and just basically add water, and you get a corn cake like that. But yeah, do y'all have any questions?
I've got. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to use a paper cartridge to load this piece. This has all the gunpowder I need to fire contained inside, plus my imaginary projectile. First thing I'm going to do, bite the end off the cartridge to open it up. Next, I'm going to pour a little bit of gunpowder into the pan of the gun and shut that pan so the powder can't go anywhere funny. Then we cast the piece about, giving us access to its muzzle to dump the remainder of the gunpowder into the gun. Now this is the part that's a pain in the butt. In order to take advantage of the rifling, to take advantage of the grooves in this barrel, you have to use a very tightly fit projectile in order to load this thing in such a way that it will be accurate. If the ball is undersized, you will not have the same accuracy as if it fits tightly. I'm simulating that today with a piece of tissue paper jammed into the cartridge. So, I gotta squeeze that thing in the muzzle, and then I have to utilize the ramrod to load that round all the way down the barrel. The amount of fighting I just had to do to get that thing forced all the way down is not what you're going to experience loading a smoothbore gun. With a smoothbore, you basically give it a couple taps and you're done. So how much I had to sit there and go at that thing is very much a rifle feature. Makes it a pain in the neck to load, especially if you're not standing up. If you're prone or kneeling or behind cover, it can be a little bit of a pain in the butt. But now that we're loaded, I have my nice, super accurate shot ready to go. So if you don't like loud noises, please go ahead and cover up your ears. This is the loud part. Safety is now off by bringing the gun to full cock. Aim and fire. And there you go. Now you have to do it again. All over again. So, seeing how long it took to reload, it should be pretty obvious at this point that one man with one gun is not that effective on the battlefield. You cannot go all John Wayne, John Rambo, running around the jungle with your machine gun, shooting up bad guys like it's cool. That does not work. Any effective use of these arms in the 18th century is all about teamwork. It's about working together so that you don't all have unloaded guns at the same time. You have different units or different people covering each other while they're reloading. Effective teamwork is what allows these guns to be effective battlefield implements in the 18th century, and is what's going to allow units like Crockett's Western Battalion, who we're representing here, to go take the fight to their enemy out in the Ohio country. Any questions?